All right, welcome back, my dear student. In this lecture here, I want to create a category page. So every time we click on one of these categories, it will display the products that are specific to that category. Okay, so again, we're working on homepage here, and we just got to get a couple things done before we get out of here, right? So let's go ahead and do that. The first thing that I want to do is I want to go to sci_nav.php there, because we are using an old-fashioned way of doing things here, and I want to take this to functions. All right, for that we're gonna have to create a new function here, and we're gonna call this get categories. All right, and we are going to drop all that in there, and we got to copy this down here, put the semicolon there, don't forget that. And here we're just gonna modify this code a little bit. We're gonna use our function query to do that right there, and we don't need none of this stuff here. We just use confirm, and we're gonna, these are custom functions that we made. These are helper functions. Remember that he's doing a lot of things for us, making everything way better than what it was. All right, and it's just gonna confirm, it's gonna run through there. All right, now here I want to use that Herodoc right here. I'm just gonna copy this. It's easier to copy that, paste it here. Of course, we're not gonna use this whole thing there. All right, what I want to use, this is already getting out of hand there. Let me just put that a little closer to there. All right, oops, there we go. I'm just gonna take all this off, make sure my delimiter there doesn't have any space. If I put space on it, it creates a problem. As you can see, this one is there. If I do this here and it turns to that color, that creates a problem. You can't have spaces there. All right, so make sure that your there we go. You can put it right here. All right, you see that you can't have spaces on it. If you have spaces here, that's a problem, and if you have spaces here, that's a problem. Make sure you have no space in that line. All right, so what I want to do is, of course, change the name of this here and say category, I don't know, links, sci_nav. Oops, I'm gonna click Control Z just to undo it because I need this right here. All right, and I'm gonna paste that in there. All right, and then I'm gonna take this off and just write again, get categories. All right, all right, let me just organize this a little bit. There we go. All right, so this should work good. Let's just see how this works here. We have no problems. Oops, unexpected in line 104. All right, wow, Roach. All right, this is missing one of these, that's all. And 107 is giving me this unexpected. Maybe you can use the same name. Let's check it. You can use the same name. I have used the same name before, and there's a limiter here, but it's giving me an error here for some reason. It's just giving me an error there. I mean, I'm doing the same thing I did here. I don't understand why it's giving me an error. Let's check it out. Category links. There we go. Let's check it out. All right, now it's working. It was weird what it was giving me. All right, so now let's go ahead and do the echo right here. You got to be careful with these delimiters here because they are very, very case sensitive. Anything, any little space or anything could trigger them not to work. Enter. What did I do here? Oops, sorry about that, guys. Semicolon. All right, now it should be working. All right, perfect. All right, now if these delimiters are giving you problems, you can always use the echo. Make sure everything is in double quotes. You wrap everything in double quotes, and then you use single quotes inside those double quotes. All right, a lot of you should know how to do that already. So I just wanted to convert that there. And another thing that I want to do is I want to link this to category.php, and let's make sure that we have that page available. We do. So, and save it. All right, make sure that when you click here it takes you to the category.php, and this is what we're going to be showing, that the products related to this category, but we got to send in the category ID. All right, so put ID there and put it in curly brackets here and say row, and then you would say cat ID. All right, so now when we go back here, enter, put our mouse over, you can see the ID changes when I put, and then we get in the URL here. All right, we get that get request. All right, so hopefully you got that done. All right, and that's it for this lecture here. In the next lecture we'll continue building on that, and see you then. Bye bye.